global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. There's been a lot when it comes to the issue of insecurity, and many months ago, the Southern Governors Forum, they all came together and decided to look at the issue of banning open grazing because of this insecurity that is embedded in that situation. Severally, Governor Samuel Ortom have been calling out the president over the issue of Fulani Herdsmen and their mayhem in Benue. Of course, he was now forced to open his own security outfit, of which Miyetti countered him by insisting that they would open their own national security outfit. With all those brouhaha going on, Anambra State governor have decided also to do the needful as he realized that he needs to do security checks or else they may have a situation in their hands. As if that is not enough, Rivers too have joined suit. We're going to go through this series and find out what Miyetti is now saying, because it's really getting out of hand. Before we go to the news properly, subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's start with what is going on in Anambra State in Southeast. Members of the Southeast Zone of the leadership of the Miyetti Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria have appealed to the Anambra State Governor, Professor Soludo, not to enforce the ban on the movement of cattle on foot in the state. The group said if the ban is enforced, it would affect their source of income and survival in the state. Soludo had during an interview, or rather during a meeting with a group at the government house in Oka some weeks ago, restated that the state governor's resolve towards the enforcement of the ban, adding that the enforcement will begin in September. The governor reminded the group that the move was in compliance with the 2021 anti-open graze law of the state, which he said had been in existence a year ago. According to him, now that we have a law banning open grazing, the law enforcement agents have been directed to implement it. The immediate past governor of the state, Willie Obiano, had asserted to the cattle and other livestock open grazing prohibition and ratchet establishment bill of Anambra State in 2021, but failed to enforce the ban. But while reacting to the development during their meeting in Oka on Monday, the leader of the Miyetti, that's Gidado Siddiqui, appealed to Soludo to suspend the implementation at the moment to enable them to educate and sensitize their members. Siddiqui said majority of its members will be thrown into confusion as they do not know of any other business to do other than rearing of cattle. He said, and I quote him, "Majority of us, the Fulanis, do not know any other business more than the rearing of cattle. Some of us were born and bred in this rearing of cattle business here in Anambra State. We have no other place to go." The headers are aware that the state government has commenced a massive tree planting exercise in the 181 communities of the state as part of measures to control the spread of gully erosion in the state. And as law-abiding citizens, we have cautioned all our members and equally urged them to protect the trees in their various host communities. Our members have remained committed to the peaceful coexistence with their host communities in the state and the Southeast geopolitical zone at large. We therefore call on concerned stakeholders, including the media, to help us beg the governor, if possible, to reverse his decision on the banning of open grazing. Well, the truth is, it's not really a Soludo that did that. I think there's a law ready in Anambra State. It's only enforcing it. What's the essence or the beauty of the law if it will not be enforced? I think it's the duty of the governor also to look into it so that they will know that there's an existing law to that effect. You know, when there's no law, there's no crime. If there's no law, definitely there's no crime. But let's find out really what Rivers also have in stock for Miyetti Fulani Herdsmen. Well, report has that the governor, Wike of Rivers State, recently signed the Anti-Open Grazing Act into law. Open grazing of animals in different states in the country is an issue that has raised concerns and arguments from different quarters. Governor Wike's bold move to implement the bill in his state will certainly influence the activities of cattle breeders, especially nomadic Fulani herdsmen in the state. Cattle rearing in Nigeria is predominantly nomadic in nature. It is a business associated with the northerners, especially the Fulanis, because the weather condition of the north is quite favorable for cattle compared to the more humid and disease-tolerant southern climate. However, herdsmen normally travel from the north to the south, seasonally searching for food for their animals because the south has a lot of green land due to increased rainfall. In recent times, there have been worrying clashes between southern farmers and some herdsmen over the issue of open grazing. Their issues have been bloody, sometimes leading to increased concerns about the viability of continued open grazing of cattle in the country. Earlier this year, southern governors met and decided to collectively ban open grazing in their state. Governor Wike has now gone a step further by implementing the ban. Below is what it could mean for Fulani herdsmen in Rivers State, where they would not be able to travel with their cattle openly in search of food. The law clearly bans this activity. Fulani herdsmen will no longer be able to travel with their animals, at least in Rivers State. At least not in Rivers State. They may have to resort to ranching. Herdsmen in rivers may have to resort to ranching and live their nomadic lifestyle. If they are to continue living peacefully and carry out their lawful businesses, they may have to undergo fundamental changes to the way they rear their cattle. They may have to acquire lands and build permanent ranching sites. There may be scarcity of meat in rivers for a while because of the way the news came in. There may be a relative scarcity of meat in the state for a while. This is because the herdsmen may need a bit of time to adjust to the necessary changes as a result of the new law. However, after necessary changes are put in place, things are expected to return back to normalcy. Of course, this is also almost the same fate they are going to probably see in Anambra as well. Nigerians have been reacting to this. Quick one, and we'll wrap this one. This one here is saying, despite the ban, Fulani herdsmen do move with their cows to Atone access, and APC in Rivers State are against this ban. Some part of Port Harcourt, like the airport road, cows still move around. The big question is who will arrest these herdsmen for disobeying the law. APC in Abuja and Rivers State are angry about the law of open grazing, and if you allow Fulanis to stay, they will take everything. Another person here saying implementation of that law is very easy, as Rivers State is at the bottom. All we need to do is to block the entrance point. If Ekiti can implement that law, stress-free for Rivers State is more stress-free. Kudos to the governor. Again, to our Fulani brothers. I think it's high time they began to reconsider this, their trade for the future of their children. Another person here is saying, please, anytime you report of these Fulani herders, don't refer to their activities as herders or farmers class, but refer to them as terrorists, because that's what they are, people that are heavily bringing down people in their numbers and destroying villages. They're supposed to be banned throughout the country. A lot of people are generally complaining about their activities. Now 2 states have decided to implement their ban finally. Let's see how it plays out. Let's go wrap it up. Let's put it in our comment section. What's the